Welcome back to Snacks and Facts, snack-sized history, and these things that I'm gonna eat. Today in history we have Althea Gibson, art crimes, and a horse! A horse! My kingdom for a horse! Today's snacks are strawberries and cream, salmon and lingonberry sauce, and wine. We don't have any wine glasses. Our first snack is the classic Wimbledon treat of strawberries and cream because we are congratulating Althea Gibson, who became the first black competitor in international tennis on the 22nd of August in 1950. Strawberries. Yeah, hit the ball! Is that what you say? I've never been to the tennis. Cream for breakfast. Can't wait to mix it with the wine. Althea Gibson grew up playing paddle tennis in Harlem and became the local champion. Soon the local community was raising funds to buy her a membership to her local tennis club in the early 40s. Even though the US Lawn Tennis Association had a non-discriminatory policy, Gibson couldn't gain entry into the US championships because to do so, she had to accumulate points at certain tournaments that were held at white-only clubs. Thankfully, Alice Marble, one of America's greatest tennis players, wrote an article on Gibson's behalf that led to Gibson being allowed to compete. She would go on to win the championship twice, in 1957 and 1958. Gibson won singles events in the French Open and won twice at Wimbledon. Wimbledon, strawberries. She was the #1 female singles player of 1957. Gibson was also a successful doubles player and in the 60s became a professional golfer. Despite the hardships she faced, Althea Gibson wrote that she only hoped to have accomplished one thing in her life, to have been a credit to tennis and to her country. A statue erected in her honor proves that she accomplished just that. Our next snack is the classic Norwegian flavors of smoked salmon and lingonberry sauce. This is probably the first proper snack that I've had on this show that is tasty and somewhat healthy. Health points! It's got a rye cracker, cream cheese, salmon, lingonberry sauce, and pepper. Here we go. What do Norwegians say?
I don't know.
Full disclosure, I got this lingonberry sauce from IKEA, which is Swedish, but you know, it still exists in Norway. We're having this snack today because the Scream and Madonna classic paintings by Edvard Munch was stolen again from the Munch Museum in Oslo, Norway on the 22nd of August 2004. Did you notice I said again? Thank you. Edvard Munch was a Norwegian painter whose highly personal works contributed to the artistic movements of symbolism in the late 19th century and expressionism in the early 20th century. Symbolism rejects the naturalist movement of depicting what artists saw and instead focused on emotions and ideas, including those within mysticism. Expressionism was a more extreme, more inward trajectory of that practice. We all know the Scream, don't we? It's classic, it's an emoji, it's a goat. It's a great reminder of those who have had a panic attack in the afternoon that they are not alone. Virtual hug! Munch's 1893 version of the Scream had been stolen from the National Gallery in Oslo in 1994 by two thieves who left a postcard saying, "Thanks for the poor security, cocky." The artwork was recovered in a sting operation a few months later. On the 22nd of August 2004, the 1910 version of the Scream and one of the late 19th century versions of his work Madonna, this painting had also been stolen and recovered in 1990 at a different gallery, was stolen by masked gunmen who came in, ordered security guards to the ground, and then they were like, does anyone know where these paintings are? They actually did have to get directions, but then bam, they made their getaway and looked really cool while doing it. It would take the Norwegian police just over 2 years to recover the paintings after they had found the 4 suspects involved and had 3 of them convicted and sentenced for 4 to 8 years imprisonment and hundreds of millions of dollars in compensation. Unfortunately, the paintings were damaged. The Scream had significant water damage that can't really be repaired, and the Madonna had tears that can be fixed, but there's an interesting article linked below about the motive behind the steal. Did the artworks get damaged when the suspects were captured, or was the heist used to distract the local police from a more pressing murder case involving one of their own? Dun dun. The artist with the most stolen artwork ever is Pablo Picasso, with over 1,100 paintings stolen, and the artwork that has been stolen the most times is Jan van Eyck's Ghent altarpiece, which has been stolen 13 times over 6 centuries. Art crime is believed to be the 3rd highest grossing criminal trade worldwide, behind drug and arms trades. Check the link below for more information about this topic. Our final snack for the day is the chosen snack for anyone who has ever lacked a horse: wine! Why wine? Why are we III had isotopes in his skeletal remains analysed, and scientists were able to determine that Dickie enjoyed the wine in his later years. Oh, and today he died. This is sparkling grape juice. It's 9 AM. Shut up. Isotopes, what are they? Isotopes are different forms of the same element that contain the same number of protons but different numbers of neutrons. This can make them unstable and potentially radioactive, a little bit like me on a Monday morning. This makes them really handy for carbon dating. These isotopes are extracted from different bones because different bones hold different types of atoms, which can reveal what you ate, drank, and where you lived. Cool! A horse, my kingdom for a horse. These are the final words Shakespeare had Richard III say in Act 5, Scene 4 of the famous play. I once saw Kevin Spacey perform that role. Now that's ruined. Hashtag thanks Underwood. Hashtag not my president. Hashtag now was the winter of our discontent. Richard III had scoliosis, which is so common, I even have a curvy spine, but Shakespeare described him as deformed, unfinished, sent before his time, which isn't cool. He did also have a roundworm infection, which is definitely not cool. Richard III was apparently determined to prove himself a villain and may or may not have killed some kids or something, I don't know, because this was during the War of the Roses, a really long civil war between the Lannisters and the Baratheons. Lancasters and Yorks, sorry. Henry Tudor versus Richard III at the Battle of Bosworth Field, 22nd of August, 1485. Lightning strikes. Apparently he was abandoned in battle by some of his men, and his last words were actually, "Treason! Treason!" He can talk, hey. The king was a good fighter and gave it the old heave-ho, slew a few folk, but then got hit on the head twice, once as a bam and the other as a bush, and they just kept on hacking at his head. Richard III was the last king to be killed in battle and would be discovered 527 years and 2 days later, buried in a shopping mall car park. So how was your day? Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Snacks and Facts. We'll have a video for you every Wednesday at 2 PM Pacific time.